Welcome inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center in Cambridge, getting ready for Game 2 of the ECAC quarterfinals between the Harvard Crimson and the Yale Bulldogs. Harvard leading 1-0. Hi everybody, I'm Scott Sudikoff alongside Andy Town. Happy to have you with us here for Game 2 of this quarterfinal series. And Andy, yesterday, 10 goals put up on the board. It was back and forth for a time. A very crazy second period, but Harvard able to come away with a 6-4 victory and now one game away from a third straight trip to Lake Placid.
Yeah, it certainly is a familiar place for Harvard to get to, Lake Placid, and last night Harvard able to get the win, but Yale certainly didn't make it easy. And we'll take a look at some of the highlights from last night. After Sean Malone got Harvard on the board with the only goal in the first period, Harvard ended up taking a 2-0 lead. Luke Esposito extending it, but then Yale came back 3 goals in a row. Joe Snively on the power play, Mike Doherty and Luke Stevens all scoring, and then Esposito came back for Harvard. Joe Snively answered again, 2 goals and an assist for him last night, and then Harvard had all 3 goals in the third period. Again, Joe Snively, 2 goals last night, entered the weekend with as many career points as he had career games played, and the sophomore has really been coming up big for Yale, not only this year, but last year.
And on the other side for Harvard, a big day yesterday from Luke Esposito as well, as he scored 2 goals, and again continuing the trend of seniors really leading the way for the Crimson.
The entire senior class has been very impressive, and they're certainly looking for another trip back to Lake Placid and another trip to the NCAA tournament to finish off their careers.
So we're getting ready, Game 2, Harvard and Yale, and it's coming up live next from the Bright Landry Hockey Center in just a few moments. Less than 24 hours after a thrilling 4-overtime victory at Dartmouth, the Columbia Lions come to Cambridge to challenge the Harvard Crimson and their 15-game winning streak. And it's live for you next on the Ivy League Digital Network. The path to the Palestra continues tonight in Cambridge as the Harvard Crimson, riding a 15-game winning streak, welcome in the Columbia Lions coming off of a 4-overtime thrilling victory last night at Dartmouth. Hi everybody, alongside Tim Culverhouse, I'm Scott Sudikoff. Justin McIsaac will join us in just a couple of moments. And Tim, 4 overtimes last night for Columbia. That's a 60-minute game. Harvard a 3-point victory over Cornell last night to stay perfect in the Ivy League. So we'll see tonight if Columbia has the legs to keep up with Harvard.
No, you hit the nail on the head, Scott. This is a team that didn't arrive in Cambridge until about 1 a.m. Harvard did get that close win against Cornell last night. They've been waiting here. It's a quick turnaround. The first Ivy League back-to-back for both of these teams here this season.
So look at the players to watch in this one. Camille Zimmerman on the Columbia side leads the Ivy League in scoring. She played 58 minutes last night of the 60.
And in that 58, a game high, a career high, 37 points. She is the de facto scorer for this Columbia squad, and definitely a player to watch for the Lions tonight.
And even picking up a shiner on that right eye during last night's game. Here in Cambridge last night, it was the Sydney Skinner show as she put home a career high 23 points to help lead the Crimson to a 3-point victory over Cornell.
Take a look at some of the highlights last night. She did it from all over the court, including a big 3 at the end of that game. It was the dagger that put Cornell behind, and Skinner was the jolt that Kathy Delaney-Smith needed off the bench. It's a big game for her. We'll see if she can follow it into tonight's effort.
Yeah, Skinner and the bench was huge last night in the victory over Cornell. Earlier today, the third member of our broadcast team, Justin McIsaac, had a chance to catch up with Harvard head coach Kathy Delaney-Smith to get her thoughts on tonight's game.